Before we get on down to this video, I would like to apologize for this awful lighting. Like, I'm literally using this lamp in my old bedroom. Like, yes, you guys, I am back in Raleigh, North Carolina. So yeah, I don't have that poppin' ass lighting like I do in LA. So I'm really sorry about that. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is me, Rickey Thompson, and what is good? So this video is going to be a whole lot different from my other videos. This video is going to be a little bit more serious. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because a lot of you guys have been asking me questions about relationships. A lot of the questions were like, how do I get over an ex? How do I deal with the pain and loss of a relationship? Am I going to be okay with future relationships? And I thought to myself, I was like, how do I answer these questions? And you know what? I decided that why not share with you guys my relationship problems? So for this video, I am going to be telling you guys about the time I got my heart broken. Now, you guys know that on my channel, I am always talking about like my different hookups, but I never really talk about like my relationship life. And the reason why is because I see a lot of people who put their relationships on social media and they end up broken. And honestly, that's just not what I want. So I decided to keep my relationship life private. So that's exactly what I did. I can't believe I'm telling this story, but okay, so first off, I recently just got out of a relationship, probably like a month ago. So yeah, this topic is still a little bit touchy, but I'm okay, I'm cool, I want to help you guys out. Alright, so I met this guy in 2015, and I never believed in love at first sight until I met this guy. Like, this guy was just so special to me. Like, when I first saw him, he was everything that I wanted, like with looks-wise, personality-wise, like everything about him was literally what I wanted. So I will say, when I first saw him, I basically fell in love. But I decided that I am not going to fall fast for this boy because he told me that he was only going to be in LA for a week, so he didn't live in LA. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go through that long distance relationship bullshit because that just looks painful and I just don't wanna get myself hurt. So I was like, you know what, let's just hang out like as long as you're here. And he was like, okay, cool. So me and him, we had a ball. Like, we hung out a lot, you know, we went out, you know, we did things. But yeah, we just had a great time. And then after that week, he left. Now, when he left, I thought that I wasn't going to care for him at all. But honestly, I missed the fuck out of him. Like, I wanted him to be in LA with me so bad. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to forget about it. So me and the guy didn't talk for about 2 weeks, but on the third week, he hit me up and he was like, hey, can we talk? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, honestly, I've been thinking about you. And I was like, oh my God, I've been thinking about you too. So we basically told each other that we really did like each other and that we wanted each other. So we started a long distance relationship. Looking back at it now, I honestly cannot believe that I decided to go through a long distance relationship because I was always against it. But you guys, I would have done anything for this boy. Like, I was so down for him. I wanted him so bad. So if it meant that I had to be in a long distance relationship, hell, let me just do it. So for about 2 months, me and this guy, we were in this long distance relationship. And you guys, I was so happy. Like, I had never been that happy before in my life. Like, I was so happy that finally God had sent me somebody who understood what I was going through, who made me laugh, who just made me smile. I was just so happy. So me and the guy, we were dating for about 2 months, and then he surprised me and said, hey, I'm coming to LA for a week. When he told me this, I was so excited. I was like, yes, finally, it's gonna be me and my man, like, what's good? So he gets to LA, and honestly, you guys, it was like the best week ever. We went to Disney. We went on cute little dates. He took me to Santa Monica to watch the sunset. Like, it was just so romantic, and I was just honestly so happy, but sadly he had to go back home and he had to pack for college because like he had just graduated like high school, so like, you know, summer was ending, so it was time for him to go to school. So when he left LA, you guys, I had never cried that hard before, ever. You guys, this was an ugly cry. Like, when he was leaving, like going to the airport, I was like sobbing. He was like, oh my God, like I'll FaceTime you when I get back. But I was like, oh my God, I don't want you to leave. Like, you're just so perfect. Like, please don't go. He was like, I know. Like, I don't want this to be like this. And I was like, oh my God, like, ugh. Like, I was just giving him the ugly cry. Like, I honestly cannot believe, like, I let that boy see me ugly cry. Because when I ugly cry, bitch, it is hideous. I just look disgusting. So, that just showed how much I really did care for him. So, me and the guy continued on with our relationship for about 2 more months, and then he surprised me again and came back to LA, and I was just so happy. I was like, oh my God, y'all need to get you a man who travels for you, you know? And I really couldn't travel for him because I was filming for Foursome. You guys should watch that show. But I was filming for Foursome and I didn't have any time. I was super busy and I really wanted to visit him, but I just really didn't have the chance to. So I was really happy that he was able to visit me. So anyway, he came to visit me in LA, and I remember I came home from work after a long day of filming, and when I walked in, he was there with all my friends, and I was just like, oh my God, like, what in the world, like, oh, and he was like, babe, and I was like, babe, and you know what, we kissed, and I thought everything was perfect, but something just wasn't right about him. He went from this perfect Prince Charming type of boyfriend to this like mean type of boyfriend. Like basically when he saw me, he was like, ugh, and I was like, what? He was like, those shorts. I was like, what? What's wrong with them? He was like, honestly, they're so ugly. Can you please just change? Like, please. And when he said that, I was so taken back. I was like, you know, when you're dating somebody, you don't care what they have on. Like, all you do is care about them. So, what I'm wearing shouldn't affect how you feel towards me. So, I was very shocked. And also, he said this in front of my friends. And my friends were shocked. They were like, oh, God, this is awkward. Like, ugh. So I was just very taken back. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to fight. Like, you're here. Ugh, I'm just so happy. So, I changed his shorts and everything was great. But with his stay, things just started getting worse and worse. Basically, he came for me even more. Like, every time I would put on like this outfit, he'd be like, ugh, like, why would you wear that? And he would make fun of me, and I was just like, whoa, like, why are you doing this? But I was so blinded by love because I seriously loved this boy to death. And I was like, you know what, I don't care, but you know, the bullying just got like really bad, and I was at a point where I was just feeling so depressed and that I was just so sad that I was like, you know what, I just cannot take this. So while he was there, me and him broke up and he went back to college and I stayed in LA and we just stopped talking to each other. So my dumb ass, you know, still blinded by love, decided to hit him up 2 months after we broke up because I just couldn't take it. I was like, you know, I went on other dates, but I was like, I still am so in love with this boy. So I was like, you know what? Let me just fix these problems. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, like, I miss you. And he was like, you know what? I miss you so much. And I just want to apologize for how I treated you. Like, I never, ever want to do that again to you. Like, I never want to hurt you. Like, I'm so sorry. And you know what? I believed him, and I was like, oh my God, like, I forgive you. Like, I love you so much. He was like, I love you too. And me and him got back together, and you know what? We started doing this whole long distance relationship again. And it was great. Like, we FaceTimed every day. We texted each other every day. And I was really happy. So fast forwarding to like a couple of months, he surprised me for my 20th birthday, and it was like the most random trip for him. Like, he was only gonna be here for the weekend, and I was just so happy. I was like, oh my God, like, he literally is the best boyfriend ever. Like, for somebody to drop everything at school and visit me all the way in LA, just to make me happy on my 20th birthday. Like, honestly, you're the best. You're the best boyfriend ever. So I was so happy, but once again, sadly, the trip was shit. This guy made me feel so low, you guys. This guy would just belittle me, like belittle the fuck out of me in front of all my friends. And I was just like, whoa, like, why are you doing this to me? And my friends would be like, Rickey, what's wrong with you? Like, why is he doing this? And I was like, I don't know. And you guys, he just made me feel it's just so low. He just really just stripped me apart. Like, I just felt like I wasn't good enough for him. Like, I went through a time period where I only did things that would make him happy. Like, I dressed a certain way to make him happy. I would talk a certain way to make him happy. I would act a certain way to just make him happy, because I just didn't want him to be, like, disappointed in me. I didn't want him to be embarrassed of me. And I ended up getting really, really, really depressed because I wasn't myself. Like, I was living a lie, basically. Like, I wasn't living like Rickey T. Like, I didn't know who I was living. Like, I was basically living a life just to impress him. And that wasn't me. Like, you guys know, I always preach about not caring about what other people think about you. Like, always do you. But I wasn't even taking my own advice. Like, I was literally living this other life that I just wasn't happy about. So, I just knew that this wasn't healthy for me, so we broke up again. So, fast forwarding to last month, me and him didn't talk for like 9 months straight, so, you know, I was doing pretty good. I was like, okay, I'm really gonna focus on my career, you know. I'm not gonna worry about a man, you know, I'm gonna do me. But I don't know what it was, but I just started thinking about him a lot, and I really, really, really wanted him back. Like, I was just like, ugh, like, I just want to be friends with him. Like, I don't know, I just want him back in my life. But my friend had hit me up, and she was like, oh my God, you won't believe what just happened. I'm like, what? She's like, so I was at the Grove, and I saw your ex shopping. I was like, whoa, 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 that doesn't sound right, because it's Thursday, and he's in college, so, you know, why would he be at the Grove on a Thursday? She was like, look, I don't know what to tell you, but I promise you, I saw him. So I was like, well, that's interesting. So I let that go, but I was thinking that I was like, maybe this is fate, you know? Maybe he moved to LA. Maybe this could work out. But I was like, you know what? I am not going to hit him up. Like, I'm not going to. Like, I'm more stronger than that. But my friend, she let me know. She was like, Rickey, you know, I hate to tell you this, but your boy is looking pretty good. And I was like, damn, girl, why you have to tell me? Like, I love her to death, but I was like, damn, why'd you have to tell me? So I went onto his Instagram, and I was like, wow, wow, old boy is looking good as fuck. Like, I was like, damn, so fine. So you know what? Oh, God, I can't believe I did this. I hit him up, and I was like, you know, hey, like, I hope you're doing great. Like, I saw you on Instagram. You're looking good. And he was like, oh, I thank you. Like, you look good too. And I was like, thanks. And he was like, look, I just really want to apologize for what I did. And I was like, you know what? I heard this all before, but I just didn't care. Like, I was just so happy to be talking to him, because I was still so in love with him. So, you know, when you're in love, you're just blinded by everything. So he basically apologized, and you know what? I fell into that trap, and he was like, do you want to meet up for lunch? And I was like, of course, I want to. So we went to lunch, and honestly, everything was great. Like, he apologized for everything. He told me he was not that same asshole. Like, he changed. And honestly, I saw that in him. Like, deep, deep down inside, I saw that he had changed, that he was a better person. He looked more happier, you know. And he told me he moved to LA, and I was just like, oh my God, like, finally, no more long distance relationships with this guy. Like, finally, I can have this relationship that I've always wanted. And basically, we decided that we were going to take things very slow, but we were actually going to get back together. And I was just so happy. I was like, yes, I finally got my dream man back. Like, hell yes. So for the first couple of days, everything was great. Like, I thought I was on top of the world, you guys. Like, I just couldn't stop smiling. Like, I would wake up smiling. I would go to bed smiling. I was just so happy. Like, me and him were finally, like, going on dates with each other. We went to Disney World together. It was so cute. We went out together. Like, we went to clubs together, y'all. We were getting lit together. Like, everything was perfect. Like, the first couple of days were absolutely amazing. But, sadly, you know, once again, things just didn't look too great. Basically, I would text him to hang out and he wouldn't respond. Or he would respond late, and then I felt like I was being annoying. So I was like, you know what? I will only text him when he would text me. So it was a lot of like waiting around with him, and then he would only want to hang out when it was just like me, him, and his friend. And I love his friend so much. Like, I love his friend, but I really wanted to just spend time with him, you know. And when I let him know about that situation, like I just wanted to hang out with him, he was like, oh my God, like I totally didn't realize it. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, we can have our alone time. And I was like, okay, cool. But when we would have our alone time, he wouldn't want to kiss me. He wouldn't want to cuddle me. I just felt like he was very like unattracted to me. And I just didn't understand it. Like, I was just like, what? Like, you said that you were down for this, but why are you acting like you're disgusted with me? So, I was really hurt by that. So, moving on to around Thanksgiving time, he went back to his hometown, I went back to my hometown, and I was just like talking to my friends. I was like, you know, something does not feel right. Like, honestly, like, this boy was so down for this relationship, but he looks like he doesn't give a fuck about it at all. And my friend's like, what is he doing? I was like, well, you know, usually when we would text each other, you know, he would respond late, you know. He would text me like, maybe like every 2 days or whatever, or maybe like sometimes every day. Like, I just never knew with him. But like when we were apart, like when I was back home and he was back home, he didn't text me at all. And my friend's like, you know what, Ricky, something's not right about this at all. But randomly, he texted me like 2 days before I came back home, and he was like, I just miss you so much. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, wow, thank you, Jesus. Like, he still cares. And I was like, I miss you too. And he was like, I just wish I could be with you right now. I was like, I wish I could be with you too. And, you know, we just started like talking. Like, it was just like back to regular times. So, we both come back to LA, and I invite him to my screening. And then he like canceled on me. He was like, oh, Ricky, can I take a rain check? And I was just so hurt about it. And then he just did like the most romantic thing ever. He like canceled his plans. He was like, you know what? Fuck those plans. I'd rather be with you on this big day. So he came with me to my screening, and he met like my manager and my directors and my cast of foursome. And I was just so happy because I never thought that I would be able to have that, you know? Like, of course, like my friends always come with me to my different type of like screenings and events and stuff. But I never had like a boyfriend be there for me, you know? So I was really happy. But after my screening, a couple of days after that, like we spent like 3 days together, and it was honestly the best time ever. Like, it was just so much fun. Like, it was just like me and him. I spent the night over at his place a lot. We just stayed in and watched movies. It was just so cute. But one day, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm tired of staying inside and watching movies, like, let's have a cute date night. So I invited him out. I was like, hey, like, do you want to have a cute date night? He was like, oh my God, like, I'm so down for it. Like, I'm so down. I was like, okay, perfect. I was like, all right, you pick the movie. No, I said, I pick the movie and you pick where we have dinner. He was like, okay, cool. So yeah, I was super excited about it, you guys. Like, I went to the gym, trying to get my body right so I looked good for my man, you know. I got my hair cut. So I was really like looking forward to this date night. So when I got to his place, he wasn't ready at all. He just looked like he had been indoors all day. Like, he just didn't shower. And I was like, so are you ready to go out? He was like, honestly, can we just stay inside? And I was like, but please, like, can we go out? And he was like, ah, fine. I was so taken back by that response. I was like, okay, like, it just shows like you honestly don't give a fuck about this. Like, okay, but once again, I was blinded by love, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. So he got himself together and we went to the movies, and honestly, you guys, it was like the best time ever. Like, he was holding my leg, like, oh my God, like, oh, like, ooh. That is such like a big turn on for me, like, you guys, when a guy puts his hand on your thigh, woo, that just like shows like this is like my territory or whatever. So I really did like that. So yeah, the movies, it was great. So after the movies, he just went back in that type of like funky mood. He was like, I honestly don't feel like going out to dinner. Can you just order something at my place? And I was like, okay, cool. Like, as long as I'm with him, I don't care. So I ordered food at his place, and I wanted to like do stuff with him, like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, couples do things, you know. But I honestly felt like, again, that he was just so turned off by me. Like, I was like, wow, like, I got my body right. Like, you guys, when me and him first started dating and we were doing stuff, I looked so gross. Like, I was just so like scrawny. But now, you know, I may be scrawny, but now I'm more like built, you know. I'm working out, I'm making sure I look good, you know. So I was just like really taken back. I was like, wow, is he really that disgusted with me that he doesn't want to do anything? But I was like, you know what? I brushed it off and I was like, you know what? I don't care. So we cuddled, we watched movies, and then I fell asleep over at his place, and then we woke up, and then I went back home. So that next day, I texted him. I was like, you know, it really did bother me last night how you really weren't about like going out. Like, I really wish you were more romantic. And he was like, you know what? I'm just so sorry. Like, I have a lot on my mind right now, and I just really didn't think about it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. And then I thought everything was great until the next day after I sent that message. It was like the following day. He hit me with that text, and the text said, hey, we need to talk. And I was like, oh God, about what? And he said, I'm moving back home. When I got that text, I just fell to pieces. I felt so low. I felt so done. I was so hurt. I was like, I've worked so hard for this relationship, and now it's ending like this. Like, I was like, what? This cannot be happening. Like, this cannot be happening. So I called him up and I just wanted to see what was going on. And he basically told me that his parents were making him move back home because he wasn't in school, and that he had dropped out of school to come to LA, but he was really trying to figure out what he wanted to do with his life, and he thought he knew what he wanted, but his parents weren't happy with that, and that they were forcing him to move back home. And I begged him. I was like, oh my God, like, is there something you can do to try to fix it? He was like, no, Ricky, there's nothing I can do. Like, they're making me come back home. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to go through that long distance relationship stuff again. And I honestly feel like I cannot be friends with you because, like, if I'm friends with you and I see you with somebody else, it's going to kill me. And he was like, yeah, like, I honestly feel the same way. And he was like, do you want to talk about this face-to-face on Sunday, which was like the next day, because this was like on Saturday. And I was like, yes, that'd be perfect. So he was like, all right, just like meet me up later. I was like, okay, cool. So it's finally Sunday. I get up, and you guys, I look so bad. Like, I had puffy eyes because I literally cried myself to sleep because I was just so hurt. And I went to go meet up with him, and he was crying. He was like, Ricky, I'm having a nervous breakdown right now, and I don't want to have this conversation right now. But I was like, you know, we need to have this conversation. So we basically had this conversation. I'm like, so did you know about this? That you're moving back home earlier? Because I was like, there's no way your parents dropped a bomb on you like that. And he was like, you know, we did talk about it over break, like when I was back home. And I was like, oh, okay. Did you by chance think to like tell me about it instead of like, you know, still calling me babe and still hanging out with me and we're still going out? Like, you should have told me. And he was like, I know, but like, I just felt bad. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I brought up the whole distance thing, and I was like, honestly, I feel like we've been distant. And he said, how come? I said, well, I would text you, you won't respond, you know, your whole Thanksgiving break, you didn't text me until like 2 days before you were coming back to LA, so what's going on? And then he got quiet. And then, wow, I'm not gonna cry. But he basically told me that he stopped having feelings for me when he went back home. And the reason why he didn't tell me that is because he felt bad for me and that he basically stayed with me for pity. You guys, when he said this, I had never, ever, ever been that hurt before. Like, those words were like a dagger in my heart. Like, I never ever thought that he would say something like that. After he said that, I just stared into the distance. Like, he was talking to me right here, and all I did was look straight on. Like, I was just so distraught. I was hurt. I felt played. I also felt so stupid because everybody told me that he was not the one. Like, anybody who fucks you over that many times isn't the one for you. Somebody like that doesn't deserve somebody as great as me. So I was just so upset with myself. I felt like I was so dumb, so stupid, that I fell into this trap the third time in a row. You know, all my life, I've dated people, and they seem to always fuck me over. They seem to be either embarrassed of me, they seem to be just completely using me, they just treat me like I'm nothing. And the fact that this happened once again when I thought it would never happen again, it just really, 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 really did kill me. Like, y'all, I thought I had hit rock bottom before. I was way low. I was way low. So, when he was talking to me, I just stared straight off into the distance. Like, he was trying to explain himself to me, and I didn't hear anything. Like, I was just in my own little world. I honestly could just feel my insides breaking. Like, I just felt so done. And I just can't believe that he just kept saying that he cared for me. No, he didn't care for me. Because when you care for somebody, you don't put them through all this shit. Like, this boy, over the past year, has put me through some shit, you guys. Some shit. He's put me through depression. He's put me through not liking myself. He just really did get the best of me. And I honestly cannot believe that I let that boy do that to me. Like, I'm so disappointed in myself. I really am. Like, I just can't believe it. But when I was looking into the distance, feeling so broken, so hurt, I don't know what happened, but sad Rickey washed away, and the real Rickey T snaps right back into place. Like the Rickey T who would tell you, if you don't like me, I honestly don't give a damn. Go suck an ass, bitch. That Rickey T. And you know what? It felt good to be back. So I like snapped out of place, and I would look at him and I say, you know what? I'm done for what you have to say, okay? I'm done. I'm over it. If you see me, don't speak to me. I don't give a damn about you. He was like, oh, so we're gonna be those exes? I said, hell yeah, we're gonna be those exes. I don't like you. You know what? I hate you. I want nothing to do with you. You are somebody who I'm going to leave in 2016. If I'm leaving your ass in 2016, don't expect your ass to ever come back in my up and coming years, okay? Because I'm not gonna feel like this anymore. I'm gonna feel like this from now on. So, goodbye. I am completely done with you, and that is that. And then this dumbass had the nerve to sit up there and be like, well, Rickey, I care for you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And he sat his ass there, waiting for me to say something. So I just looked at him and I said, bye. And he was like, okay then. He got up at my car and y'all, I pulled off. I left that shit right there. I was like, you know what? No one is ever gonna make me feel low. I am too much of a good person. I know I did nothing wrong. I know I did absolutely everything right, okay? I gave him my love. And you know what? If he doesn't want my love, I know somebody else does. So yeah, I will be upgrading, you know? I don't need that in my life anymore. No. Like, boy, who even are you? Like, you don't even make your own coins. I've been making my own coins since I was 18, boo. I moved from Raleigh, NC to Los Angeles, California by myself. I bought my own car. I bought my own furniture that's in the apartment that I bought. I pay my own bills. And I can also buy designer shit and not worry about it. Because when I breathe, I make coins. That's just what Rickey T does, you know? I make my coins. But overall, I am so thankful for this guy, actually, because he taught me that I am important. And I shouldn't let anybody ever, ever, ever make me feel as low as he did. I should never hate myself. I should never ever hate myself. I should wake up every morning and say, thank the Lord that I am still here and I am still breathing and I'm still the same Rickey Thompson. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, your boy went through it, but you know what? I'm going on dates now, y'all. And I've just never been more happier. I'm so much more happier with my life. I feel great. And I know one day, somebody is going to love me how I love them, you know? Somebody's going to finally return the love that I give to them. I haven't got that yet, but I know one day I will. And y'all will hear about it, okay? But I just want to let you guys know, it's okay to feel low. It's okay to be blinded by love. You just gotta know that you are important and you're worth something. And don't let nobody ever control your life. Don't. So just know that you'll be fine. You will be perfectly fine. You'll find somebody else who's more popping. You will upgrade, bitch. You will. Just do you for a little bit. Just do you. But when I look at all this, I'm honestly so proud of myself. Because I was so heartbroken, you guys. I was so heartbroken. And I was so hurt and I felt so low. I'm just glad that I finally saw my worth. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So yeah, y'all, that was my story. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if this video was a little bit long, but I just really wanted to get every detail into the story. But I love you guys, and I just want to thank you guys so much for everything. Because without you guys, I would not be living this lifestyle. I would not be living my dreams, you know? Like, I'm just so thankful for you guys. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And I love you. I will see you soon. And remember, always remember, say it with me, kids. Peace, love, and swag. Money. Bye.